What's up, you fellow Genshin lovers? It's your boy Pawns Alive back with another video, and today we have a very special one. We'll be having my first reaction to and a full character review of Ganyu, the Cocogoat. I was super excited to see when she was actually introduced into the game, and now that she is able to be pulled in packs, her banner, all the other 4-star characters in there isn't the greatest, but she looks like she's going to be an awesome character. We're going to see today how she feels in combat. I'm going to see if she is more of a support character or a DPS character, or just see how she would fit into your team, and I'll also be able to give you some artifact recommendations on what stats you should prioritize to really get the most out of your Ganyu. So before we get into it, if you could leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Those metrics really help out when it comes to the YouTube algorithm. And if you're feeling very generous, feel free to go ahead and join the Discord, which is in my description. That's the best way to get in contact with me and interact with your boy. If you do have any other questions or would like to talk a little bit more about what you feel Ganyu should be, or have any more suggestions that I don't get into today, I would love to interact with you either on my YouTube video or within the Discord community. So without further ado, let's go ahead, let's pull up Genshin. So here we are in the trial. We are going to go ahead and see how she feels. First off, I mean, the character design is just so cool. Those are horns. So, you know, the fact that she is a goat, she is the goat. The cryo goat, right? Let's go ahead and get this started. So let's start off with her E. Get a little backwards, get a backwards dash, and then just being able to do her charged attack looks really good. Looks like you can increase a crit rate for a lot, and if you let it do the double, I mean, her charged attacks are really good. Let's go ahead and do another E. I wish you would be able to choose when you would be able to lunge back or not, but, you know, her being a ranged character helps out with that because she's able to draw the aggro away, use her charged attacks, and then use that extra DPS. So, I mean, so far, she's feeling really good. Let's go ahead. Let's use her ult real quick. And, I mean, I think this is where she really shines when it comes to DPS because, I mean, she's just consistently doing damage when she's raining these icicles. And even when you're not using her ranged attack, it seems like she has really good crit rate. Just really good stock crit rate. Let's go ahead and use her ult again. And, I mean, she just feels really fluid. Alright, so how you do get to pull Ganyu is out of her banner, which is going to be active for another 20-ish days, depending on when you're seeing this video. The other characters in this banner aren't super great. I mean, unless you use Xingqiu, I know that a lot of people use her for really good support. Zhongling can actually be a pretty good DPS if you build her out right, so having a high constellation of her, and I know Noelle, a lot of people are pretty big fans of Noelle. You know, I think the characters are alright, but, you know, not as good as some of the recent ones like Razor or Official coming. Here are the rest of the characters. See, there's a 50% chance to pull Ganyu and a 50% chance to pull anyone else if you do pull a 5-star, which is still at this 1.6%. And then at the 13% drop rate, we have Noelle, Zhongling, and Xingqiu receiving that increased drop rate. And then, but you can also pull any other character in here, as well as all the normal 4-star ones. So the next two topics I want to talk about are artifacts you should use and what team you should be using to build around her to really optimize the effectiveness of Ganyu. So as you can see, I did pull her last night on stream, twitch.tv/PawnsAlive. In terms of weapons, sure, 5-star weapons are great. She does have her own bow, which is the Amos bow, but in terms of other weapons you could use, the stringless would be good because it gives the increased elemental skill and elemental burst damage. I think the rust is probably not the best bet because you want to be using her charged attacks, and with that decreased 10%, it's not the best. The rust is probably better for someone like Fischl. The prototype Crescent would actually be pretty good too, because if you're using your charged attacks, you get a movement speed buff and attack buff for 36%. So that could be a very interesting way to go about it. Plus you get the increased attack percentage, which is always good to see. But I think maybe the compound bow might be really good. It does give the physical damage bonus, which is alright. Physical damage just happens when you are spamming the click button, but I do think that the charged attacks are going to be very, very effective when using Ganyu. Alright, now on to artifacts. While I'm still trying to build up her character, I have a Wanderer's Troop on her, just because it gives the Elemental Mastery. You'll see why I think Elemental Mastery is going to be very important when you use Ganyu. Increases charge attack damage by 35% if the character is using a Catalyst or a bow, which, as I've been saying, the charge attacks are going to be very important. It also kind of depends on your build. I think using this cryo set is going to be very helpful too, because it gives that bonus cryo damage. When you use charged attacks, you're dealing cryo damage, plus the 15%, that'll help out a lot. Especially with, you know, the 4-piece set is very important too. You know, when someone's affected by cryo, crit rate is increased by 20%, and then the crit rate is increased by additional 20% if they are frozen. Alright, now on to my team recommendation. As you can see, I have a bit to work with. I'm still working on getting a bunch of characters leveled higher, just, you know, materials, but if I had to make a choice, let's just say if everyone else was level 80, I would keep my Chi-Chi. I would probably keep my Xinyan. I would keep my Mona for sure. And then I would probably sub out my Zhongli for Ganyu. As you can see here, it's pretty good Elemental Resonance, because you get the Shattering Ice, which is affected by Electro for 40%, and then increased crit rate against opponents that are frozen or affected by Cryo by 15%. If you stack this with your Cryo 4-piece artifact set, I believe you're going to be hitting, like, you know, you're going to have around a 50% crit rate. I don't know the math off the top of my head, but as you can see, just building on top of each other, these layers of damage are really going to add up when it comes to, you know, things like Abyss. Plus, if you think of the characters this way, Chi-Chi's the healer, get a shield from Xinyan, and then you have Ganyu and Mona focusing on DPS. Use your Mona totem and your Ganyu totem, so people are consistently getting frozen, giving you all that crit rate, and then you have Mona's ult, which gives your attack bonuses, and then you can use, you know, whatever character you want to really benefit the most from that. So I would definitely suggest that. If you don't have any 5-star characters and Ganyu's your only 5-star character, I would probably say switch Mona with Barbara, so you're still getting that freeze, and then maybe go with like a Chongyun here, and then a Zhongling in your 4th spot. That wouldn't be too bad. Let's see how that looks. So this is what it would look like if I gave that second suggestion. I mean, as you can see, it's still good. You got your healer with Barbara. Chongyun helps with that DPS. Zhongling can either be DPS or support. And then Ganyu, it seems like she would take a little bit more of a support role. And that way you're still getting this. You still have the freeze with Barbara, and you're still able to get that insane crit rate. You could go Xingqiu here, and then Noelle here as well.
I will protect you.
And this gives you a pretty decent composition to where you're still able to get that freeze. You can get crystallized with Noelle, and then you have Zhongling there for DPS support instead of Noelle. Maybe putting an Electro character in here would be really good, like a Beidou, or I don't know if you'd want 2 bow users on your team, but if you had a Razor in here, I think this actually would be a really, really good composition, going Ganyu, Razor, Xingqiu, and Zhongling. You're still getting the any 4 unique elements. You're able to get a Superconduct, Freeze. They are able to do an Electro Charge. You know, Fire and Electro has an elemental reaction, and then you have the Melt combination as well. So now the only problem with this is that you don't have a healer. So if you did want to go to healer, I guess you could do Diona in there, but if you wanted to try to go for longevity, You could put Barbara in here and then take out John Ling for Razor.
I'll scout
so
ahead.
That way you have the support, you have increased healing, able to freeze, and superconduct. So all those are pretty decent options, but I would say at the end of the day, if I really had to choose, your best bet would be Chi-Chi, Ganyu, Mona, and then a fire character. In a perfect world, this would be Diluc, but I do not have Diluc yet. So I would say Chi-Chi, Ganyu, get the double ice and the crit rate. Mona and Ganyu, both of their totems are going to draw enemies towards them, so they're constantly going to be getting frozen. And then you're able to do DPS with either your Mona or Ganyu, or even Diluc if you had him in the 4th spot. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know what your thoughts of Ganyu are. Have you been able to pull her? Are you going to pull for her? Or do you think she's a good DPS character? Let me know in either the comments or our Discord community. I also do stream on Twitch every Tuesdays and Thursdays with some other days mixed in between them, but do stream on Twitch very regularly on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Would love to have you to stop by and just say hi. Let me know that you came from the YouTube video, and that'd be awesome. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for stopping in. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Best of luck in getting Ganyu, and we will see you next time.